We're almost at 30,000 miles.
Welcome to our car wash. Please, hard.
Should be touchless. If not, I'm gonna be kind of mad. I don't know how good this wash is gonna be. $9. Let's see how this goes. The car does look a little bit better. Kind of surprised, but at the same time, there's bird shit, just insect guts still everywhere. Kind of just made the car look a little bit whiter. All the same dirt on it. It's a $9 wash. It is what it is. Like I said, I wanted to keep consistent. In today's video, as you guys saw, I'm about to hit 30,000 miles. I've been tuned damn near a year and a half. I want to go over everything that I've been through with this car over those 30,000 miles. Just on a side note, guys, I am at a park. It's really windy out. I'm sorry for all the background noise. But so I got this car back in 2020, but it is a 2021. Don't know how that works. Whenever I first got the car, I threw on some wheels, stuff like that. I was learning manual on it. I did try manual a few other times. They were so far apart from each other that by the time I got in the second or third time, I still forgot everything I learned from the first few times. This really was my first experience learning how to drive manual. It was so frustrating at first, but once I got it down, I really did enjoy it. Also, why don't I just go over why I chose manual on a GTI? The DSG transmission's known to just be so good. I've driven a couple GTIs, test drove one. I have a couple buddies with DSG transmission GTIs. It does shift real nice, I'm not gonna lie. I knew that I wanted to have a manual just because growing up, everybody that I was just around that was into cars had a manual. My dad had a manual Mustang GT. I knew I wanted to learn how to do it. I always thought it was cool. Now, I'm so glad I picked a manual just because a couple of buddies of mine who have GTIs, I've had them for a little while, and honestly, sometimes it seems like they get bored of the car after a while. Once you start tuning it and you get used to the power, unless you're going big turbo, I could see how the car could get boring. Even in my scenario, stage 2, E85, everything that I could do pretty much on a stock turbo I've done, and it does get kind of boring. However, because of that manual transmission, it helps so much because it's almost like a video game. With the DSG, I get you're just shifting up, shifting down, shifting up, shifting down. I can understand how that could get boring at some point. I'm so glad I chose a manual. So I want to now get into like mods that I really did with the car. First thing I did was a CTS catless downpipe. After I did that, I went ahead and got the cob access port. This allows me to get off-the-shelf tunes. Once you have this, you get your downpipe. You could throw on a little tune on there. You'll probably gain like a good 30 horsepower. After those two, I got the CTS turbo intake. I'm pretty sure I might have just bought these like damn near all together. Honestly, don't even remember. Those were the 3 first mods. Then I started getting the off-the-shelf tune going. It wasn't anything crazy, but it definitely did change the car. So I want to go over the tune. The car really did change. It didn't change so much so with just the off-the-shelf tune. I can actually show you guys right over here. This stage 191 tune was the first one I put on. These off-the-shelf tunes really aren't the best for your car. They do have a lot of engine knock. It's just not the best. Right now I am running the EQT Stage 2 E85 tune. I'm really happy with that tune. The car runs pretty great. It totally did change the car from stock. I can see how the car can get boring. Just stock, the car just doesn't feel like the same car at all. So like I said, the car is on a tune. It also is running on E85 right now. I could say the car actually does run better on E85. I believe that's with most cars. Once I put the E85 in, I just noticed it just pulls a lot harder. It just runs better. It felt like on 91 my car would bog a little bit, but now it runs a lot better. Now I want to get to the reliability of the car. This car was on a tune for damn near a year and a half, I want to say, if not more. It does have issues. It does. Once you get into tuning your guys' car, you're most likely going to run into issues. It is what it is. You have to pay to play at the end of the day. With this car specifically, I don't have too many issues compared to other cars, I want to say. Not too long ago, my injectors gave out. I started the car one morning. It just was running terribly. I couldn't drive the car for a month. I was trying to figure out what was wrong with it. The injectors gave out, or they got stuck open, I guess. I thought that the problem was the high pressure fuel pump. It actually wasn't, so I spent another $800 on a new high pressure fuel pump, but I was able to sell the one that I already had, so it kind of worked itself out. Now, other issues. Sometimes I get white smoke going out the back of my exhaust. I don't know if that's a coolant problem. I don't know what's going on with it, honestly. I don't think I have a blown head gasket. Everything runs fine. It just does that randomly, especially when the car sits. If anybody knows what that could be, let me know. The car sits for a while on, and then I'll drive and white smoke will come out the back. I don't know what it is. Help me out. The car does have some issues I need to take care of, but it is what it is. It still drives perfectly fine. I hope those issues don't cause any future issues. But take care of your guys' car, guys. Overall, reliability, she's been good. So maintenance for this car, honestly, the only things that I've done is changing out spark plugs every, I want to say 8,000 miles. And then I also just get oil changes every 5,000 miles, or I try to every 5 to 7,000 miles, I think is what you're supposed to have. I mean, I do have some check engine lights, so I don't know. Go to someone else for maintenance, guys. Don't trust me. I want to go over the price to modify GTIs and Golf Rs compared to other cars. All the engine mods, tunes, and everything, I want to say I've only spent around $4,000 to $5,000. It's not that expensive compared to other cars. With that being said, I want to say in total, I've spent close to $10,000 on this car with everything I've done, including exterior mods and all that. Like I said, engine mod wise, you could get a lot of power out of this car for not that much money compared to other cars. Lastly, I just want to go over the surprise factor of this car. If somebody doesn't know about a GTI or a Golf R, or they're not really in the car community in general, in my scenario, Stage 2 E85, everybody I take in this car is so surprised. Power to weight ratio is a real thing, obviously. I want to say people in the car community don't even know what this car could do. You'll get a lot of surprise faces if you take them on rides. I honestly get a lot of people who like the car in general. I get a lot of thumbs up. I'm glad I chose it. I don't know how long I'll have it. I'm planning on keeping it for a little while. Trying to push out content as much as I can. Appreciate all the love. Thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys.